China overtook the US as the world's biggest car market in 2010 and last year consolidated that position with 25.7 million cars sold, that's 8 million more than the US. Chinese car buyers are flocking to SUVs and city cars, especially local market electric vehicles, while, at the other end of the affordability scale, demand for luxury models rocketed.
For China, however, last year was actually a modest one, with growth of just 2% compared with 2016, but the contrast with the US was stark.
A total of 17.2 million units were sold in the US, 300,000 fewer than in 2016.
This was the first time sales have tailed off there since the 2008 recession.
The damage to the US market was wrought in the summer when SUV and pickup sales dipped.
All of the data featured below comes from automotive industry analyst Auto Dynamics.
Most of the figures are actual year-end sales, but in some cases include December forecasts.
This is because the final month's official figures in some markets can take a while to filter through.
Demand in China made the luxury car market the biggest growing segment in the world last year.
Cadillac and Lincoln were the major winners, alongside Porsche.
Car enthusiasts won't be so pleased to see the sports car market take such a hit, but declining demand for the Chevrolet Corvette and Ford Mustang hit the segment hard. People carriers and vans continued their respective slides in popularity, with a decline of up to 10% globally for MPVs being more than offset by the growth of SUVs, which swelled by nearly 12%.
About 27.6 million SUVs were sold in 2017, making up a quarter of all global sales.
We have already discussed China's onward march as the biggest car market.
In contrast, the UK went into retreat in 2017 with the biggest percentage drop of any global market, down 5.4% to 2,902,754 sales as a result of economic uncertainties and new motoring taxes.
The decline at least wasn't sufficient to push the UK behind France, where 2,539,826 cars were sold, but a drop of 166,000 units repeated in 2018 alongside a rising French market would put the UK's position under threat.
Much has been written about global electric vehicle sales accounting for 1% of the total global market in 2017, a significant indication of the growing acceptance of battery-powered vehicles.
But Hotto's numbers suggest this isn't quite the case.
The final figures are still not confirmed, says Hotto Global Auto analyst Felipe Munoz, but preliminary data shows 581,000 EV cars were sold, that's about 0.8% of the global market.
So close, but no cigar, to reaching the 1% considered the tipping point for a technology to become permanent.
In its run-out year, the Nissan's Leaf MK1 lost its #1 crown. The cheaper BAIC EC, a little-known Chinese EV with a 20 kilowatts battery and price tag starting at £17,000. That the executive-priced Model S also outsold the Leaf is a testament to the power of Tesla's appeal. China's ZD the Do was fourth, outselling the Renault's Zoe and Tesla Model X.
Yes, they are taking over the world, everywhere, says Munoz. It is a long-term trend that is now also impacting India, Brazil and Southeast Asia. Every SUV market segment is growing, with the biggest expansion coming from midsize and large SUVs.
In China, a number of 5+2 and full 7-seat SUVs were launched last year.
Which countries are buying the most electric vehicles?
With 332,994 EVs sold, China was the #1 market last year, well ahead of the US and Europe. Demand also doubled in 2017 in China, says Munoz, while US interest was 14% lower.
The gold standard for loud and expensive fast cars remains the Porsche 911 with 30,700 examples sold last year, an increase of 4% compared with 2016.
In fact, the 911 dominates its segment like no other model. The second best seller is the Mercedes-Benz SL with 5,800 units, down 14%.
Ferrari and Aston Martin enjoyed year-on-year sales growth of 10.1% and 58.1% respectively.
Lexus made a remarkable jump up the charts.
The LC 5700 sales grabbed third spot from the Mercedes-AMG GT 5100 sales.
Total global volume was 75,400 units, a year-on-year rise of 5.3%, highly respectable given that this is a segment of cars with starting prices around £80,000. The rise of SUVs has historically meant a corresponding slide in conventional saloons.
And although isolating sales of four-door saloons from those of hatchback and estate body styles is not easy, Hotto's figures suggest that trend continued globally, with the exception of China. 3 of the 4 main saloon/hatchback/estate segments in China actually expanded last year: midsize, 10% year-on-year growth, executive, 14%, and luxury, 109%.
Only the compact segment decreased, -5%. The opposite is true in America, where all 4 segments posted declines, and Europe, where both mainstream and premium compact and mid-size segments fell.
Mercedes-Benz S-Class, 72,613 sales. The great secret success story of global luxury car sales is Cadillac.
Invisible in Europe, the storied US brand has 3 models in the global luxury top 10 bestsellers list.
The explanation, according to Hotto Dynamics, is the rapid growth in the number of billionaires in China.
Cadillac XTS, 60,980 sales. Mercedes Mighty S-Class takes top spot, as always, but its lead over the Cadillac XTS narrowed last year.
When Lincoln is included, there are 2 American brands in the top 5.
Where are Rolls-Royce and Bentley?
Of course, it's all down to price and volume.
BMW 7 Series, 55,990. More food for thought. There's a case for including the Range Rover in this list. It would feature in the top 3 if it did.
Also consider Jaguar, as it readies a new XJ Saloon, which is expected to be pure electric.
It would need to find 25,000 plus units to enter the top 5.